Why do nice people finish last? Because they blink, they flinch, they show their hand before the game even starts. You've been taught that kindness is strength, that patience is virtue, that turning the other cheek makes you noble. It doesn't. It makes you prey. And prey gets devoured while predators feast. Machiavelli knew this. Sun Tzu knew this. Every ruler who built something lasting knew this. Power doesn't belong to the warmest heart. It belongs to the coldest mind. And if you're still waiting for fairness to save you, you've already lost. Here's the truth nobody wants to admit. People respect what they fear more than what they love. Not terror, not violence. Fear of consequence. Fear of someone who doesn't break under pressure. Fear of eyes that don't look away. You've spent your life trying to be understood, trying to be liked, trying to earn approval from people who'll never give it. That desperation is a leash, and whoever holds it owns you. What if you cut that leash? What if you stopped caring about their opinion and started controlling their perception? What if you became unreadable, unpredictable, untouchable? This isn't about becoming cruel. It's about becoming clear. Clarity is cold. It strips away the emotion that clouds your judgment and weakens your boundaries. When you learn to hold someone's gaze without flinching, to stay still while they panic, to remain silent while they confess, you stop being a player in their game. You become the game itself. 7 principles, 7 codes. Each one a weapon you've been too afraid to pick up until now. You think power lives in words. It doesn't. Power lives in the eyes that refuse to look away. When you hold someone's gaze without flinching, you're not just looking at them, you're stripping their control bare. Most people break eye contact within 3 seconds. They glance down, shift away, pretend to check something. That micro movement, that submission, that's the moment they hand you dominance without even knowing it. Your unshaken eyes become a mirror they can't escape. And mirrors don't lie. Every negotiation, every confrontation, every silent battle for respect begins with who blinks first. The one who looks away is the one who fears consequence. The one who holds steady owns the room. I've watched this play out in boardrooms, back alleys, family dinners. The psychology is universal. When your eyes don't waver, you trigger something primal in the other person. A survival instinct that whispers, "This one isn't afraid." And fear of the fearless is the most potent form of respect. You don't need to say a word. Your gaze does the talking. It says, "I see you. I'm not impressed. Try me." The discipline isn't physical, it's mental. Holding eye contact when your brain screams to look away takes ruthlessness toward your own weakness. You're fighting your conditioning. The polite nods, the friendly glances, the social lubrication that keeps everyone comfortable. Comfort is the enemy of control. When you refuse to break your stare, you're refusing to play their game. You're imposing your rules. And rules only work when boundaries are absolute. No exceptions, no apologies. The moment you soften, the moment you give them emotional relief, you lose. Dominance demands consistency. Most people use their eyes to connect. You'll use yours to dominate. There's a difference between looking and seeing. Looking is passive. Seeing is active. When you see someone, you're reading their tells, their hesitations, the micro-expressions that reveal their true state. They feel exposed under that kind of scrutiny. Good. Exposure is where manipulation begins. You don't need to be aggressive. Aggression is loud and predictable. You need to be still. Stillness with unshaken eyes creates a vacuum of power that they'll rush to fill with nervous chatter, justifications, concessions. Let them fill it. You just watch. Practice this on everyone. The barista, your boss, the person who disrespected you last week. Hold their gaze 2 seconds longer than feels natural. Watch them squirm. Watch them break. Then watch how their behavior toward you shifts. They'll respect you more. They'll fear you slightly. They won't know why. That's the beauty of it. The control happens beneath their conscious awareness. You're rewiring their psychology without their approval or consent. That's not cruelty. That's strategy. And strategy without emotion is the foundation of every empire ever built. But eyes alone won't break them. You need something else. Something they can't predict. You move too much. Every gesture, every shift in posture, every nervous adjustment, it all screams uncertainty. Stillness is the opposite of that noise. When you master the art of not moving, you become a gravitational force. People expect motion. They expect fidgeting, nodding, some kind of physical feedback that tells them you're engaged, that you're predictable. Deny them that. Your body becomes a statement of power when it refuses to participate in their rhythm. Stillness isn't passivity. It's dominance wearing a calm face. The impulsive reveal themselves through motion. You reveal nothing. Watch how people react when you go completely still during a heated conversation. They lean forward. They raise their voice. They gesture wildly, trying to provoke some kind of response from you. That desperation, that's them losing control. They need your reaction to validate their emotion, to confirm they're affecting you. When you withhold movement, you withhold validation. And without validation, their manipulation collapses. I've used this in countless confrontations. The kind where someone's trying to intimidate, to guilt trip, to pull emotion out of me. I just sat there, spine straight, hands folded, eyes steady. They broke every single time. Stillness is a psychological mirror that reflects their weakness back at them. The mask of stillness forces them to fill the silence with their truth. People can't handle dead air. They panic. They start talking, over-explaining, justifying themselves. Every word they speak is a thread you can pull later. Every admission they make while you're silent is ammunition you didn't have to ask for. This is how interrogators work. This is how power players operate. They create a void of emotion and let the other person drown in it. Your stillness isn't cold. It's calculated. It's a boundary they can't cross because there's nothing to grab onto. No anger to deflect. No fear to exploit. Just presence. Unshakable, immovable presence. Most people are taught that engagement means participation. It doesn't. True engagement is selective. You move when movement serves you. You speak when words advance your position. Everything else is wasted energy. I learned this watching predators in nature documentaries as a kid. The lion doesn't chase every antelope. It waits, conserves energy, strikes when the moment's right. Human psychology mirrors this perfectly. The person who moves first, speaks first, reacts first. They're the prey. The one who waits, observes, calculates. They're the predator. And predators don't announce their intentions. They just exist, still, patient, inevitable. Your stillness must become instinctive. Train yourself in low-stakes situations first. When someone tells you gossip, don't react. When someone insults you, don't flinch. When someone tries to rush you into a decision, freeze. Let the discomfort build. Let them marinate in the silence your stillness creates. They'll either respect you or avoid you. Both outcomes serve your survival. Respect gives you influence. Avoidance gives you peace. Either way, you win. And winning isn't about fairness or justice. It's about control. Control over your body, control over your reactions, control over the space between you and everyone trying to take something from you. But control means nothing if your emotions leak through the cracks. You leak. Every time you react, you leak information. Every frown, every smile, every sigh, it's data they'll use against you. Emotional silence isn't about suppressing what you feel. It's about controlling what they see. When you stop broadcasting your internal state, you become unreadable. And what people can't read, they fear. Fear breeds respect. Respect creates distance. Distance is where your power grows unchallenged. The moment you master emotional silence, you stop being a player in their game. You become the game itself. Think about poker. The best players don't have better cards. They have better faces. They control the flow of information. You're doing the same thing in every interaction. When someone insults you and you don't react, they lose their weapon. When someone praises you and you stay neutral, they lose their leverage. Manipulation depends on emotional responses. Cut the response, kill the manipulation. I've watched people try every trick to get a rise out of me. Guilt, anger, flattery, threat. I gave them nothing. Not because I didn't feel it. I felt everything, but I refused to let them see it. That refusal is a boundary made of steel. Impenetrable. Absolute. Emotional silence forces them to second-guess everything. Did you hear them? Did you care? Are you offended? Are you impressed? The uncertainty eats at them. They start projecting their fears onto your silence. They assume you're judging them. They assume you see through them. And you know what? They're right. Your silence isn't empty. It's full of observation. While they're busy trying to provoke you, you're cataloging their patterns, their triggers, their weaknesses. Every emotional outburst they have while you remain calm is a confession. They're telling you exactly how to control them later. Write it down if you have to. Mental notes. Real notes. Doesn't matter. Just collect the data. Most people think emotion is power. It's not. Emotion is exposure. When you cry, you show vulnerability. When you rage, you show loss of control. When you beg, you show desperation. All of these states make you predictable. Predictability is death in any game of dominance. The person who controls their emotional display controls the narrative. You decide what they think you feel. You decide when to show warmth and when to show ice. That's not manipulation. That's survival psychology at its finest. You're not lying. You're simply refusing to hand them the keys to your inner world. Those keys belong to you alone. Practice this in moments of high emotion. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Don't react. Someone betrays your trust. Stay composed. Someone questions your competence. Smile slightly and say nothing. Watch how the silence unnerves them more than any comeback could. They expect defense. They expect attack. They expect something. Give them nothing. Your emotional silence becomes a weapon they can't counter because there's no target to hit. You're smoke. You're shadow. You're the cold space between words. And in that space, you're untouchable. But silence alone won't sustain your dominance. You need the calm that makes others question their own rage. You think anger makes you dangerous. It doesn't. Anger makes you readable, predictable, easy to manipulate. When you lose your temper, you hand control to whoever provoked you. They set the pace. They choose the battlefield. They win before you even throw a punch or spit a word. Real danger doesn't announce itself with rage. It sits quietly across the table, breathing slow, watching everything. The predator's calm is what separates amateurs from masters. Amateurs react, masters dictate, And dictation requires a temperature so cold, it freezes everyone else's momentum. I've been in rooms where men twice my size tried to intimidate me with volume, yelling, threats, chest puffing. I just sat there, hands folded, heart rate steady, didn't interrupt, didn't defend, just waited. And you know what happened? They ran out of steam. Their anger burned through their credibility. By the time they finished, they looked weak, desperate, out of control. I spoke once, quietly, calmly, and the room shifted. Because calm in the face of chaos is dominance incarnate. It says, your emotion doesn't touch me, your rage doesn't move me. I'm operating on a different frequency, and that frequency is power. Calm isn't weakness, it's weaponized patience. When someone's screaming and you're breathing, you're already winning. They're burning energy, you're conserving it. They're revealing their strategy, you're concealing yours. Every second they spend in emotional chaos is a second you spend calculating their next move. This is survival psychology at its core. The hunted panics. The hunter waits. You've been conditioned to believe that passion equals strength. It doesn't. Passion is chaos wearing a brave mask. Strength is the absence of unnecessary motion. Strength is the refusal to be pulled into someone else's emotional storm. You watch the storm from outside. You study it. Then you strike when it's exhausted. The predator's calm disrupts every script they've prepared. They expect you to match their energy, to escalate, to give them a target for their aggression. Deny them. When you stay calm, you force them to confront the emptiness of their own rage. They look foolish, juvenile, weak, and weakness once exposed can never be fully hidden again. People remember the person who stayed composed while they lost their mind. That memory becomes your reputation, and reputation is currency in every social hierarchy. You become the one they don't test, the one they approach carefully, the one they respect even when they hate you. Respect born from fear is more reliable than respect born from approval. Train yourself to lower your heart rate in conflict. Breathe deep. Count to 3 before speaking. Let their words hang in the air. Let them feel the weight of their own aggression bouncing off your composure. This isn't about being nice. This is about control. When you control your physiology, you control the psychology of everyone watching. I've practiced this in arguments, negotiations, moments where someone tried to provoke consequence through volume. I became colder the louder they got. That contrast, their heat against my ice, made me untouchable. And untouchable is what you're aiming for. Not loved, not feared in the explosive sense, just understood as someone who doesn't break, someone who doesn't blink, someone who doesn't react. But calm means nothing if you're still dancing to their rhythm. Every time you react, you submit. You think you're defending yourself. You're not. You're obeying their command. They said something, you responded. They pushed a button. You performed. That's not strength. That's conditioning. You've been trained like a dog to bark on cue, and the person holding the cue owns you. Reaction is the clearest confession of weakness because it proves you're still operating inside their frame. Their words matter enough to move you. Their opinions carry enough weight to shift your state. That's submission dressed up as self-defense. And submission, no matter how you justify it, is still submission. Watch how the world operates. The employee reacts to the boss. The boss doesn't react to the employee. The accused reacts to the accuser. The judge stays silent until the end. Power flows toward the one who responds last, or doesn't respond at all. This isn't theory. This is observable human psychology playing out in every hierarchy. The person who needs the last word is the person who's losing. The person who can walk away mid-sentence is the person who's already won. I've done this in relationships, in business, in petty disputes that didn't deserve my energy. Someone would provoke me. I'd pause, then I'd leave. No explanation, no comeback, just absence. And that absence haunted them more than any argument could. Reaction gives them exactly what they want, proof that they affect you, proof that you're still playing their game. When you refuse to react, you break the loop. They throw bait, you don't bite. They escalate, you stay flat. They eventually exhaust themselves trying to pull emotion from a stone. And stones don't break. Stones just exist, indifferent to the weather. Your lack of reaction isn't cruelty, it's boundary enforcement at the highest level. You're teaching them, without words, that their manipulation doesn't work on you, that their attempts to control your emotion are futile, that you exist beyond their reach, and people hate what they can't reach. Good. Let them hate from a distance. The weakness of reaction extends beyond individuals. Look at how nations operate. The superpower doesn't respond to every insult from a minor state. Silence is its response. That silence communicates absolute dominance. You're not worth my energy. Now apply that to your life. The coworker who undermines you, the ex who tries to provoke jealousy, the family member who guilt trips you. They're all fishing for reaction. Don't give it. When you respond, you validate their tactic. You tell them it works, so they'll use it again and again, until you're dancing like a puppet every time they pull a string. Cut the strings. Starve them of the reaction they crave. Watch how quickly they move on to easier targets. Mastering non-reaction requires ruthlessness towards your own ego. Your ego wants to defend, wants to correct, wants to prove them wrong. That's normal. But normal is average. And average people stay trapped in cycles of reactive behavior their entire lives. You're choosing something different. You're choosing control, not control over them. Control over yourself. When someone disrespects you and you stay silent, you're not being weak, you're being strategic. You're choosing when to spend your power and when to conserve it. Most battles aren't worth fighting. Most insults aren't worth acknowledging. Most provocations are just tests. Pass the test by refusing to take it. Let your silence be the answer. But silence without the right posture is just avoidance. You need something sharper. You care too much about what they think, about what they say, about whether they like you or respect you or remember you. That caring is a leash around your neck. And whoever holds the other end owns you. Controlled indifference is how you cut that leash. It's not about becoming cold, it's about becoming selective. You decide what matters. You decide what moves you. You decide when to invest emotion and when to withhold it. That choice, that sovereignty over your own attention, is what separates the controlled from the controlled. And make no mistake, everyone's trying to control you through your need for approval. Indifference is weaponized composure. It's not that you don't care about anything. You care deeply about the things that serve your survival, your power, your long-term dominance. Everything else? Static, noise, irrelevant. When someone realizes you're indifferent to their opinion, they lose their leverage. They can't guilt you. They can't flatter you. They can't manipulate you through social pressure. I've watched people try to shame me into compliance. Expected reaction, expected defense. I gave them a shrug. Not theatrical. Not exaggerated. Just genuine disinterest. They didn't know what to do with that. Their entire strategy depended on me caring. I didn't. Game over. The trick is making them care while you pretend not to. That's the art. When you act indifferent to someone's presence, they start working harder for your attention. It's basic psychology. We pursue what retreats. We value what's scarce. When you're always available, always eager, always responsive, you're abundant, common, forgettable. But when you're selectively unavailable, when your attention becomes something they have to earn, you become rare, valuable, magnetic. This works in business, in relationships, in every power dynamic. The person who cares less holds more cards. The person who needs nothing controls everything. That's not cruelty. That's understanding human nature and refusing to pretend it works differently. Controlled indifference requires discipline. Your ego will scream at you to engage, to defend your name, to correct the record. Ignore it. Let them talk. Let them speculate. Let them fill the void your indifference creates with their own insecurities. Every time you refuse to react to gossip, to disrespect, to petty provocations, you're building a reputation of untouchability. People start to notice that person doesn't play games. They don't get rattled. They're different. Different is power. Different commands respect. Different makes you unreadable. And unreadable people are the ones no one dares to test twice. Practice this with small things first. Someone texts you demanding immediate response. Wait. Let them sit in the uncertainty. Someone tries to provoke you with a passive-aggressive comment. Smile slightly, say nothing, move on. Someone questions your choices. Shrug. Maybe. Then change the subject. Watch how your perceived value rises with every instance of controlled indifference. They start second-guessing themselves. Why doesn't this bother them? Why aren't they defending themselves? Because you're operating from a position of internal power. You don't need their validation. You don't fear their rejection. You don't chase their approval. And when you stop chasing, they start chasing you. Not out of love, out of confusion, out of the primal need to affect what seems immune to their influence. But indifference without foundation crumbles under pressure. You need something absolute beneath it. Coldness isn't cruelty, it's clarity. When emotion dies, strategy is born. You've been told your whole life that warmth is strength, that compassion is power, that caring makes you human. All true. But none of it makes you untouchable. Warmth makes you vulnerable. Compassion makes you exploitable. Caring makes you predictable. Frigid majesty is what happens when you strip away everything that makes you easy to manipulate. What's left isn't a monster. It's a king. A king doesn't apologize for existing, doesn't beg for approval, doesn't explain his decisions to people who lack the vision to understand them. He simply rules. Cold, clear, absolute. The code is simple. Emotion is information you don't share. When you feel anger, you don't show it. When you feel hurt, you don't reveal it. When you feel joy, you meter it carefully. Every emotion you broadcast is a weakness someone will exploit. I learned this watching people in power, CEOs, generals, chess masters. They all share one trait: emotional economy. They spend emotion like currency, carefully, strategically, only when it serves a purpose. The rest of the time, ice. Not because they don't feel, because they refuse to let feelings dictate their moves. Feelings are passengers, logic drives, and logic, unclouded by sentiment, is ruthless in its efficiency. That ruthlessness is what builds empires, while everyone else builds excuses. Frigid majesty terrifies people because it suggests you've transcended their game. You're not playing for approval anymore, not playing for fairness, not even playing for dominance in the traditional sense. You're playing a longer game, a colder game, one where you sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term control. Most people can't do this. They need the immediate hit of being liked, being validated, being understood. You don't. You've killed that need, starved it until it stopped screaming. What's left is pure calculation. You evaluate every interaction through one lens. Does this serve my survival? Does this advance my position? If yes, engage. If no, ignore. No guilt, no second guessing, just cold assessment followed by colder execution. This code doesn't make you a sociopath. It makes you immune to manipulation through guilt, immune to control through emotional blackmail, immune to the endless games people play to extract resources, time, energy, money, attention, from those too warm to say no. Warmth is beautiful. I'm not denying that. But warmth without boundaries is suicide. You'll be bled dry by everyone who recognizes your inability to be cold when coldness is required. I've been there, gave too much, cared too much, got destroyed for it. Then I rebuilt, colder, clearer, with a code that protects me from my own Shan Liang impulses. Because kindness without strategy is weakness, and weakness in a world full of predators is a death sentence you're signing yourself. The frigid majesty isn't a mask, it's a transformation. You become the cold, you embody it. Your voice drops in temperature, your gaze sharpens, your movements slow. Everything about you communicates one message: I am beyond your reach. I am beyond your manipulation. I am beyond your consequence. And when people sense that, when they realize you've reached a level of emotional detachment they can't penetrate, they either respect you or leave you alone. Both outcomes protect your power. Both outcomes preserve your psychology. Both outcomes ensure your survival in a world designed to break anyone too warm to defend themselves. This is the final code, the terminal lesson, the place where weakness dies and dominance becomes permanent. They'll test you, they'll push, they'll try every trick, but you won't blink, you won't move, you won't break, because you've become something they can't compute, something cold, something clear, something untouchable. You've been given the code, 7 principles that separate those who break from those who break others. The question isn't whether this works, the question is whether you'll use it. Most won't. They'll read this, feel the weight of it, then return to their warm, comfortable weakness. They'll keep blinking, keep reacting, keep begging for approval from people who see them as resources to drain. That's their choice, their consequence. But you're still here. That means something. Emotion is the enemy of empire, yours or anyone else's. Every time you prioritize feeling over strategy, you hand power to someone colder than you. Someone willing to do what you won't. Someone who's already stopped blinking. The world doesn't reward the kindest. It rewards the most controlled, the most patient, the most ruthlessly disciplined. You either learn this now, or you learn it broken. Machiavelli didn't write for the weak. He wrote for those willing to see the world as it is, not as they wish it were. You're one of them now, or you're not. But codes mean nothing without foundation. If you haven't watched The Art of Control, 6 Lessons That Build a Dangerous Mind, you're building on sand. That video is the foundation. This one is the execution. You don't learn to not blink. before you learn to control the mind behind the eyes. Go back, watch it, absorb it, then return here. Power is sequential. Skip steps, and you'll crack under pressure when it matters most. The next video will show you how they manipulate you through silence. Watch it. Write this in the comments. I no longer blink. The code doesn't care if you're ready. It only cares if you're willing.